this is Rebecca, and I'm going to show you how to work with comments in Acrobat Pro. So when you first open up your document in Acrobat, it might look like this. You might see some little comment bubbles, you might see some highlighted text, you might see some crossed out text, and some little blue carets to insert text. You can hover over each of those things, and you'll get a little flyout that shows you the comment associated with that. But one of the easiest ways is to click on this arrow over here on your right hand side, and this column will pop out. Click on the comment button and it will load the comments in a nice orderly column for you. So first things first, click on the first icon there, and when you click on it, it'll get highlighted over here in your document window. So I can see that this comment says, consider an illustration instead of a photo. So you can work with these in different ways to keep track of your changes. The first thing you can do is click on these little three menu icons right here and hit select set status. And if you want to make that change, then I recommend choosing accepted. And so you know that that's what you're working on while you're away from this PDF. So you might have to, for this one, it's going to take me a little while to create this illustration, and I'm going to use Illustrator. So while I'm working on that, I just know that I've accepted that change, and then once it's done and I've exported it and saved it into InDesign and saved my InDesign document, I can come back in here to Acrobat, go into my set status and hit complete it, and then I get a nice green check mark. So you're going to go through this list. Instead of jumping around in the document itself, I recommend going through the list in order. And the next comment here is a highlighted comment where the text is highlighted, and you're going to see that when you need to make a change or consider a change for a line of text, but not necessarily delete it, or it doesn't have any typos in it. So for this comment I wrote, this font is a little hard to read over the textured background. Increase the font size and lower the opacity of the circles. So this is another step that may take a little long to do if maybe the background image was created in Illustrator. I might have to go into Illustrator, change the opacity, export it, fix it in InDesign, all that good stuff. Plus go through and increase the font size on that and all the text on the left column. So that might be something that I would set as accepted, and then once it's completed, set as completed. I do not recommend going in here and deleting the comments as you progress. Leave them there so you can go back and refer to this document again if you need to. I do recommend doing the set status though. And if you don't want to make a change, if you think that the comment is just unnecessary, then you can always hit rejected, just so that you know that you addressed that comment. So some of the other icons that you might see is this little blue caret here. That means that you need to input some text. And so when you click on that or click on the next thing in your list there, you'll notice that the word studied is here. So that means that I wanted you to put in a keyword that might be picked up by the resume software, like studied graphic design and photography, instead of just putting in graphic design and or photography. Another icon you might see in your document is crossed out text. And it's easy to see when it's over a word. It's not so easy to see when it's over a comma or a period, like up here. Especially since the cross out, it falls on the X height line. So if you have anything that drops below that, like a comma or a period, it's just a little bit hard to tell where it's coming from. So a way that you can address that too is when you first open your document, it may be zoomed out to see the full document. Just zoom in using Command plus, just like any other Adobe software. If you want to see the whole document again, just hit Command 0 to show it in the full screen. So when you have a crossed out line of text or period or comma, I usually do put a comment in there anyways, like remove this header, or for this comma, no comma, just so that you know that it was an intentional cross out and I wasn't just clicking around in there and accidentally crossing out characters. So another reason would be to correct a typo. So this word is certifications, and it's spelled incorrectly. So I crossed it out and inserted the correct spelling here. You can double click on this and hit Command C to copy, or you can click up here on the menu and hit copy text. And then once it's loaded, you can go into your InDesign file, highlight the word that needs to be corrected, and hit Command V to paste to replace that word with the correct spelling. Another reason that we may need to insert a different word, it might not be a typo, but it may be using the wrong tense. So that means that if it happened in the past, it was a past job, you want to use all past tense verbs. If you're currently at that position or you're currently working on a project or certification, then you would use present tense verbs. So that just might be one more reason you'll see it cross out. All right, so have fun. Be sure to check these off as you go as accepted or completed, and save your new InDesign file when you're done, export it as a PDF, and then it'll be ready for the final. Have fun.